I'm appearing before you today with a good omen for game number 2, of course, Canada's team. We wish them luck. But today we got a great show. Before the big game, we're talking about a little bit of an Army exercise with the Rocky Mountain Rangers and the Jessica McMahon Trio, a final performance as part of the Knox Performance Series here in Prince George. All that and more coming up on CKPG Today. Exciting things ahead here at Pagera, of course, as the weather warms up outside. The folks at Pagera get excited because it's racing season, Jamie.
It is. It's that time of year again, and we got our Turgeon Memorial coming up, opening race day.
That's exciting. This weekend happening, I was going to say, make some joke about start your engines, but well, plenty of jokes have been made about that in the past. So, Turgeon opening weekend here, the Memorial Weekend. Talk to me a little bit about some of the different, is it minis, is it everything?
It's our regular classes, the minis, the Hornets, and the street stocks.
Cool.
Sounds like we got a pretty decent car count this year in all of our classes.
Nice.
We never know that though till the actual day of races to see who's ready to go, but just through hearing through the grapevine, it sounds like it's good.
Yeah, coming out there last year was cool to talk to the racers, like, because we were in the pits the one night, and just like, you know, you see these guys as a spectator, and as a spectator, you're looking at your racing fan, you're like, whoa, these guys are probably locked in, but you know, they're all human beings, they're lovely guys, they're just joking around in the pits, having a good time, and I feel like that's what Pagera is all about.
Yeah, that's one thing that we really strive and try to make at Pagera is a family fun event. The drivers, everybody there is kind of like family. Mm-hmm. They all get along, and at the end of the day, we're all there to have fun. It ain't like we're making any big dollars racing here in Prince George. So
you do make a lot of big fun, though, so you got that. The other thing that shocked me last year, Jamie, is the amount of multi-generational racers.
Yeah, we do. We have quite a few. I think we got a fourth generation.
Yeah, that's
a couple
the youngest
fourth
one.
generations racing right now. Yeah,
that's crazy. And this is like kids who have taken the inspiration from with their dad, grandfather. People got out of it and then got back into it now. It must be cool for you to watch that as well as being a guy behind the scenes.
It is. Yeah, I get to see lots. I've been around there since 1999, so I've seen lots of these kids.
Yeah,
dads and grandpas racing, and now I get to see the kids racing, and I know lots of them as well. So
yeah, lots of big racing families in PG. Let's talk about some of the highlights for the season here too, because there's lots to look forward to. We talked about the Turgeon Memorial opening weekend here, but lay me out some events. I know the big rigs are marked and circled on my calendar in August, but walk me through a little bit about what's on the calendar here.
Yeah, we got our in July we got our Can-Am sprints coming. If you haven't been out to those are great to see. That's probably our biggest class now that comes, anywhere from 20 to 26 cars.
Okay, what's a Can-Am sprint?
So that's a sprint car, open wheels.
Okay.
These ones, like you see on TV, they usually show them with the big wings. These are what we call wingless sprint cars. So they're fast, they're loud, they run on alcohol.
Okay, these are the ones that are, okay.
Yeah, so it's the real deal. They're just scaled down a little less horsepower than the World Outlaws and stuff that you see, but
of course,
some of these drivers have been around and done the big stuff as well.
Really? Okay.
So the whole Can-Am thing is Canadian-American.
Gotcha, partnership.
And what it is basically is it kind of started off as a gentleman's club kind of racing, and the Canadians, snowbirds, would take their race cars down and race in the States all winter with the Americans.
Yeah.
And then the American guys come up to Canada for the summer times. They don't live here like snowbirds, but they travel and they race 4 or 5 races in BC.
Nice.
So that's where the Can-Am thing came. So I actually had the joys of going down to one of the Can-Am races in Lake Havasu
Okay.
this winter. So it was.
And what was that like?
It was good, really good. Same thing. I know lots of the Canadian guys, so I was down there with one of our local drivers from Quesnel.
Nice.
So we had a lot of fun, actually.
How fast did they go? Like roughly?
They're gonna run on our track here. They're gonna run like 120 miles an hour, maybe at the end of the straightaway. 110 miles an hour.
Kind of shocking. I've seen the corners.
Yeah.
That's pretty insane. But.
So down in the States, the one track they were on, they were upwards of 150 miles an hour. So
wow, they can get up there.
So that's that one in July. August, our invitational weekend. We kind of got a big invitational weekend this year. Not only is it our local car races, but we're bringing in the Canadian Super Trucks out of Saskatoon.
Unbelievable show these guys put on.
Yeah, they put on a great show too. They've it's been a couple years since they were here. Around COVID and stuff, they haven't. But yeah, so they're back on, and then our big rigs in August as well. Everybody kind of looks forward to the Hit to Pass.
Of course, yeah.
August and September. And then our season finale. Just as fast as it comes, it seems like it's gone. So
this is the thing in Prince George. We got to enjoy the good weather and racing season while we have it. So you truly don't know. I feel like not enough people appreciate what Pagera and you guys do out there enough. Like,
if anybody, like you say, if anyone hasn't been there and happens to be seeing this on TV, it's well worth it. Come on out. We have our regular people that run the gates. You know,
I was going to say,
this is our first time coming here. They'll chat you up. They'll tell you what's going on. They'll tell you what's good days to come, what's good days not to. And they may even give you a discount. You never know, right?
Well, I was going to say, the thing that stuck out to us when we visited was the friendliness of the folks from around there. They told us exactly where to go, how to behave. You know, it's important. And all the great treats you can find there as well, the concessions. So.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. You can check out the full schedule on Pagera's website. We'll link it on CKPGToday.ca as well. Thanks, Jamie. And I'm excited to get back into racing season here at Prince George at the Playground of Power.
That's correct. Hope to see everyone there.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Saturday is going to be a great day downtown Prince George because the Jessica McMahon Trio is wrapping up the Knox Performance Series with the Community Arts Council in partnership with Trinity United and Reverend Dr. Bob from the Knox here to talk about it, and Trinity United as well. Yeah. But tell me a little bit about this final performance here as part of the Knox Performance Series.
It's kind of the capstone on a fairly eclectic season once again, bringing in a lot of great artists to Prince George that never been in this part of the country before, and Jessica and her partners on stage, Connor and Holly, kind of add to that. So Jessica McMahon is a award-winning, very rare thing in Canada because she's a classically trained, Indigenous, two-spirited woman who plays flute.
Yeah, that, like...
So it's, you know...
They don't grow on trees.
They are very... I mean, flautists in general are really rare. Indigenous classically trained musicians are even more rare. So she'll be bringing that to the Knox main stage, be playing 3 different types of flutes.
Okay.
And interweaving that with Cree culture from Alberta and language, along with kind of classical music and piano and viola.
Yeah, because I was looking up Jessica McMahon online. Very well-known Canadian, proud Canadian, loves to boast about that. Based in Edmonton, I understand, right? And yeah, just the uniqueness of this music. Like, people who haven't seen Jessica McMahon before won't understand quite what is going to be happening at the Knox, because it's just such a cool dynamic between not her but also the trio altogether.
Put the whole thing together, and then there's audio visuals that go along with it. There's some still photography and then some videos that complement the pieces. There's hides that go on the stage. It's a whole kind of immersive experience that's very different than your traditional kind of classical music recital. There's that element to it, and a whole other layer. So, a few weeks away from National Indigenous Peoples Day, it kind of just made sense for us to say, this is the way we're going to end this season.
I like it. Well, and not only is she doing the performance, she's also doing a hoop dancing workshop.
She is.
This is something, Bob, I haven't seen outside of Canada Day here in Prince George. It's super special when you get the chance to see it, and it takes quite a talent to be able to put on that dance.
It is nuts.
Yeah.
Like, great hoop dancers, the stuff that they can do with their hoops and the way their bodies move in conjunction with the music, it's a whole other thing to behold. And the fact that she's an accomplished hoop dancer,
yeah,
and a classical musician, and a composer, and a dancer, and an author, like some people are just really, really gifted, and Jessica McMahon is one of them.
So the workshop is before the concert, and people need to sign up before this, right?
Correct. It's from 1:30 to 2:30, and so we have that in the afternoon, and then the show itself is our typical doors at 7, and then the show at 7:30. It'll be about a 2-hour show with an intermission.
I like it. Not to tease people here a little bit, but of course this is the final performance of this Knox Performance Series.
That's true.
So people keep supporting, and who knows what the future may bring, right?
I can tell you that there is a huge Beatles tribute planned for September.
Okay.
There is a fabulous jazz ensemble coming in January. Delhi to Dublin are coming back to Prince George in April. And another group called Rum Ragged from Newfoundland will also be here in April, and we've got a couple of more things that I'm not prepared to say out loud yet.
Reverend Dr. Bob always comes with the goods, and you always deliver, my friend. Thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, pleasure.
And, yeah, really looking forward to the Jessica McMahon Trio, and of course that hoop dancing workshop as well. All the details will be linked on CKPG Today. You can also find them on the Knox website and get your tickets there as well. Cheers.
Perfect.
Miss an episode? That's okay, life gets busy. We get it. Or maybe you didn't miss anything, but you're here to watch that one feature again because honestly, it was that good. No judgment. Here's the good news. You can relive every moment of the CKPG Today Show whenever you want. Head over to ckpgtoday.ca, click on the Today Show tab, and voila. So grab some snacks, kick back, and binge away because let's face it, life's too short to miss out on great local TV.
The Rocky Mountain Rangers have a lot of history here in Prince George, and I wanted to take a second to talk a little bit about them. They're recruiting, they're looking for members all the time, and it sounds like a very cool opportunity and a super rewarding experience as well with all of the training that they do. I'm not sure if you quite understand what kind of training goes on, but we're going to give you a slice of it here today. Our team here at CKPG, the creative folks, had a chance to go out and experience what a weekend training with the Rocky Mountain Rangers is like, as they took part in the Chilcotin. Enjoy, folks.
Far away from civilization in BC's backcountry is where the Rocky Mountain Rangers go to work. We had the extremely rare opportunity to tag along for a training weekend for an experience like no other. After a long day of target shooting, the Rangers get to rest, spending some time by the fire before packing it in for the night. Tomorrow, they have an ambush drill to run, and we'll hear from some of the Rangers themselves about what it's like to serve on the Rocky Mountain Rangers.
You know, you don't know exactly what you're signing up for. You watch the videos, you see it, you're like, oh, that's cool, maybe I can do that. And then you step foot in there and it's, okay, well now it's actually real. It's, you know, it's not just a thought anymore. It's, you're putting pen to paper now and seeing actually people in uniform, and now it's becoming a real thing, so you get nervous. I'm Corporal John Sexton. I've been with the Rocky Mountain Rangers going on almost 2 years. So I signed up to be a Rocky Mountain Ranger because I had family that served back in World War I, World War II. Growing up, you know, I've always played soldier when I was a kid, and a sense of duty just to my country, and always wanted to serve and be a part of that group, that brotherhood.
My name is Lieutenant Colonel Torrey White. I'm the commanding officer of the Rocky Mountain Rangers. I feel the Rocky Mountain Rangers specifically and the Army Reserves in general are extremely important to Canada in meeting their defense objectives.
A good person that makes a reservist would be anyone that's competitive, especially for an infantier. If you're a competitive person, you like to do fitness, you like to shoot rifles.
I feel the people who make really good reservists are people that are dedicated to their country, that are physically fit, that are intelligent, that love a challenge and want to overcome things, that enjoy camaraderie and working with a team.
You like to work in the dark and in the woods and sleep on the ground. Like, that type of a person is a great person for the Rocky Mountain Rangers.
And ultimately, I feel like the skill sets learned within the Army Reserves can transition to things well outside the military.
Well, I think other people should sign up to be not only just a Rocky Mountain Ranger, but any infantry or any reserve unit in BC or across Canada, just to serve your country. Like, you don't know throughout the next couple of years what it'll be like. So if we have a good core group of people that have signed up, that have gone through the training, that are ready for anything across the world to go and deploy to and to help in different regions, then having those people ready to go is a big asset for Canada.
You can go to school, you can have a full-time job, you can do a bunch of things in your life, you can raise a family, but you can also serve in the Canadian Armed Forces part-time.
But to be a Rocky Mountain Ranger is, it's a good soldier, to be a good infantier. So for myself, I would like to think that as a Rocky Mountain Ranger, no matter if I go and work with the Westies or the Sea Force or the Sea Scots, they would see me come down as a Rocky Mountain Ranger and know, okay, this guy, he's gonna know his stuff. He's gonna know, you don't have to look after him. You can walk in and be like, okay, this guy's good to go.
Taking a look outside at today's CKPG Snapshot, this one comes from David Greenberg, who spent some time watching the beautiful pelicans on Bushy Lake near Quesnel. Check out the haircuts on these guys. You think they're from the heart or what? Got a little mullet, I think. I would call it that for sure. Thanks to David for sending this one in. Of course, beautiful shot. If you have one you want to share, send it our way. Snapshot@ckpg.com. Hey there, got an idea or a suggestion for the show? Reach out and connect through our social media or send us an email at letstalk@ckpgtoday.ca.
The year was 1996 in Prince George. There was lots of change here, including the Civic Center, just built, the CN Center, just built. That was about 94, 95, right? All of that stuff. And then came the discussion of one of the most architecturally unique buildings in all of Prince George. Currently still stands today. Two Rivers Art Gallery. Let's look at it today in local history.
Taking a look back in local history to 1996, what was happening at that time? Well, a lot was happening around the Civic Center area and what is known as Canada Games Plaza now, because the art gallery, the future home of Two Rivers Gallery, was, well, getting ready to be constructed. Yes, the Civic Center was only built in 94, so this is a couple years after. They thought, yeah, good spot for the art gallery. And, well, it ended up being one of the most architecturally unique buildings in Prince George as we know today.
So there you go, Two Rivers Gallery. Yeah, great, cool building. In case you didn't know, they have lots of cool stuff inside too. I encourage you to go check it out. We're going to be checking out as part of our Northern Roots tour that we continue to do here on the show as well. So watch for that. And of course, last but not least, go Oilers. All right, thanks so much for watching, folks. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on the flip side. Bye for now.